All right, let's jump right into this. Today, we really need to completely shift how we think about AI and coding. I used to see Replit as just a simple online code editor, or maybe just a basic AI app generator where you type a quick sentence and, well, kind of just hope for the best. But actually, scratch that. We're going to look at it totally differently today. We are going to treat Replit as a complete digital workshop for building AI products. I'm talking about a full-stack AI development system here. So whether you're looking to build a client portal, a custom CRM, or an internal dashboard, this explainer is going to show you exactly how to maximize Replit's true capabilities. Okay, so here's our roadmap for this explainer. First up, the AI app building workshop. Second, planning your MVP blueprint. Third, data, security, and storage. Fourth, practical apps and automations. Fifth, developer tools and workflows. And finally, testing, launching, and refreshing. Starting off with Section 1, the AI app building workshop. Let's totally reset our mental model right out of the gate and think of this as a digital construction site. What's absolutely fascinating is that if we want to build genuinely great software, we have to stop acting like casual users and start acting like system architects. I really used to think Replit was just a place to write code. But it turns out it's actually an incredibly powerful AI app building environment that literally turns plain language into functional software. Imagine you're walking into a massive digital workshop. Your prompt? It isn't just a question anymore, it is the blueprint, and the Replit agent is your construction crew. If your blueprint is super vague, well, your app is going to be a total mess. But if your blueprint is highly structured, that AI crew can build exactly what you need.
Inside this digital workshop, you've essentially got 4 specific tools at your disposal. First, the Replit Agent. That's the builder that actually writes the code and builds the features. Then there's Plan Mode, which is basically your blueprint room. And I learned pretty quickly that you should always use Plan Mode to brainstorm and map out your project before you let the agent touch a single line of code. It honestly saves you from wasting precious compute credits and creating really messy data structures. You've also got the design canvas for refining your layouts visually, and the project editor, which acts as your deep dive toolbox for inspecting files and logs when you need that fine-grained control.
Moving right along to Section 2, planning your MVP blueprint. Now we step into the blueprint room, because planning your minimum viable product, your MVP, is going to save you a massive amount of headaches down the line. Beginners almost always fail because they try to build version 5 on day 1, asking for logins, complex payments, and an AI chat all at once. We really need to strip all that back. Just look at the contrast here between a guaranteed disaster and a total power user prompt. Saying something like, "Build me a CRM," is a notoriously weak prompt because it gives the AI absolutely zero context about your users, your data, or your specific workflows. The power prompt, however, forces the AI to hit the brakes and actually ask you clarifying questions before it builds a single thing. This is a brilliant little trick that prevents the agent from just guessing what you want and overbuilding a bunch of features you don't even need yet. To consistently get amazing results, you really need to use this 5-part power prompt framework. First, give the agent a role. Who exactly should it act as? Second, state the core goal of the app. Third, provide context. Who are the users, and what exact problem are you trying to solve? Fourth, and this is absolutely crucial, set constraints. Tell it what not to do, like do not add payments yet. Finally, define the output format so you know exactly how it's going to respond to you. By structuring your instructions with these 5 steps, you are essentially providing strict guardrails. Now, as your project grows, the AI might start to forget your early instructions. It gets a little amnesia. To keep the AI from losing the plot over time, you need to establish a replit.md file. Think of this file as your project's permanent brain. It locks in your app's architecture, your coding standards, your design preferences, and your strict privacy constraints. This way, the agent always has a solid, persistent context to refer back to. All right, on to Section 3, data, security, and storage. Next up, we have to build our foundation, because every single application out there requires a memory. Whenever an app needs to remember a user, track a lead, or hold on to an uploaded file, it requires databases, locks, and really strict security rules. This breakdown completely blew my mind because it perfectly maps out exactly where things belong in your app's memory. The Replit database is strictly for structured records, then client names or booking dates. App storage is your filing cabinet specifically for file uploads like PDFs or profile images. Auth is your front door bouncer that handles user logins and permissions. And finally, secrets. Listen, this is vital. You absolutely must use Replit's secrets for your API keys. Never ever paste them publicly into the chat or your code. That is a massive security risk. So here is a crucial rule you just cannot ignore. Before you even think about launching, you must rigorously test your permissions and databases with fake data. Never expose real personal information, actual client files, or sensitive financial data during the build phase. You want to prove that your admin can see everything, but a regular user can only see their own profile. And you prove that using dummy John Doe test data. Let's shift gears to Section 4, Practical Apps and Automations. We're moving from theory to practice to look at the actual functional business systems you can construct inside this workshop. Replit isn't just for fun coding experiments anymore. It's a real tool for solving actual business friction. Replit becomes incredibly powerful when you match specific business friction points to the exact type of internal portal or dashboard needed to solve it. Are you losing track of leads? Build a simple CRM. Need to manage student progress in a course? Build a Skool companion app. Is your support inbox completely overflowing? Build an internal AI support tool to summarize those tickets. The key takeaway here is, don't just build an app because it sounds cool. Build it because it removes a real bottleneck. Whenever you decide to add beta features or AI automations, you've got to follow this safe automation loop. Why is this so important? Well, because a bad manual workflow is annoying, for sure, but a bad automated workflow scales mistakes instantly. First, make sure the app works perfectly when you do it manually. Second, add your AI trigger. Third, and this is completely non-negotiable for beginners, you must implement a human-in-the-loop review step. You need a human to catch any AI hallucinations before the system actually saves data or fires off a weird email to a client. Section 5, Developer Tools and Workflows. Eventually, as your app starts crushing it, you will need to graduate from basic no-code prompting and start utilizing proper developer workflows. And don't worry, we can do this without breaking your project. Let's demystify the backend. Seriously, don't be intimidated by the project editor. Just think of your app like a restaurant. The front end, the buttons and dashboards, that's the dining room where the users sit and interact. The back end, that is the secure kitchen. It's simply the place where the secure routing, data processing, and custom API logic live, completely out of sight from your users. Let's map out how this naturally escalates over time. You might start out with a no-code MVP built in just an hour using the agent. By week 1, you might need to pop open the project editor to add some custom backend logic or secure custom APIs. And what's really amazing is that by month 1, you're backing up your entire code base to GitHub, using the Model Context Protocol, or MCP, to seamlessly connect external AI tools right into your Replit environment, and using agent skills to lock in your personal coding preferences. The whole point is that your escalation should be gradual and deliberate. And finally, Section 6, Testing, Launching, and Refreshing. Let's get everything prepared for the grand opening and ensure your new software doesn't completely collapse when it finally meets the real world. Hitting publish is not the finish line, guys. It is the starting line where your app meets reality. Here's something I definitely learned the hard way. As you constantly iterate and ask the agent to change things over and over again, your projects will inevitably get cluttered and confused. You end up with duplicate files, messy permissions, and randomly broken features. This is known as app drift, and let me tell you, it leads to a massive headache if you don't know how to wrangle the AI back onto the right track. If your app starts drifting into chaos, here is a massive pro tip. Your ultimate secret weapon is the project refresh prompt. First, you just tell the AI to pause building. Then, have it summarize the current, working state of the app and totally clear out the messy chat history. You take that clean, summarized blueprint, update your replit.md file, and hand it back to a brand new, fresh agent session. This cuts out all the historical clutter and lets you safely resume building from a stable, refreshed foundation. It's a game changer. Before you hit publish and actually deploy your app, running through this final checklist is strictly non-negotiable. You literally have to log in and test the app as an admin, a client, and a logged-out guest to ensure all your permissions actually work. You need to check your mobile layouts, completely purge all that fake test data we talked about earlier, and cleanly connect your custom domains so your app has a slick, professional URL. If this explainer helped clear up the Replit ecosystem for you and gave you a solid roadmap to start your build, please do drop a like, hit subscribe, and leave a comment below. And definitely make sure to grab the related PDFs and prompt templates from the links in the description. They are going to save you literally hours of trial and error in plan mode. Replit heavily rewards structured thinking. The better your prompt, the cleaner your app is going to be. The tighter your permissions, the more professional your tool becomes. So the only question left for you is, what incredible system are you going to blueprint next? Get in there, start planning, and start building.